Hello viewers, well welcome to what's happening in July in the goat shed. Now we're a little late presenting this month. It's Thursday, July 7th, 2022, and it's 15 degrees Celsius outside, which equates to about 59 degrees Fahrenheit. Now this week just passed, we've had a lot of bad weather. Matter of fact, we couldn't work for a couple of days. We live on a bit of a hill, and this has been the worst weather since 1954 as far as rain and floods go. In a lot of surrounding areas, people can't get here. As a matter of fact, a chap phoned us this morning. He was supposed to bring a Gottlieb Pioneer in for some work today. He can't get here. He's flooded in. So yeah, it's very, very bad, and places have been evacuated. But anyway, that's what's been happening. So we just have to bide it out. We're fairly safe where we are, but the amount of rain been running down the hill has just been unbelievable, and it all came into the shed. My shed at home too got a little bit of waterlogged, but everything's sort of off the ground in both sheds, so there's no major issues. So right now we're just finishing off quick draw. We've been working on this over the last few weeks, and we're pretty well just going through testing it. Just found a little problem with it where a light wasn't coming on the bonus ladder. Close inspection of that revealed a very poor solder joint on the hot side, so we've redone that and fixed that up. As I mentioned, we've got a Pioneer coming in, but that probably won't be here till maybe tomorrow, if not tomorrow, the weekend, or even next week, depending on the situation with the weather. We've got a Central Park we started. Now, anyone that follows our Facebook page, The Goat Shed, Pinball Repair Specialist, will have seen this Central Park. So here's part of it now. We're working on the 0 to 9 unit. That was all rusted up. That's finished. Now here we have the rat trap score reels. And what we're going to do, we're going to make a video on how to service those while we've got one here. It's the first time we've really had a rat trap machine in for a fair while. Even though we had the game here, we just haven't had a chance to look at it. This machine, we're actually just going to get it up and running. It needs a lot of cabinet work. The playfield's terrible. It's really had it. But the owner wants to see if it can get it going, and we're reasonably confident we can. So yeah, we'll be doing that. Interestingly enough, this has got a Perspex back glass with another sheet that goes in front of it to protect it, so it's in pretty good condition. We've also refurbished the unit where the monkey is. I'll show you that. So there it is. We've cleaned all that up, and we've polished or buffed the bell up as best we can. If you have a close look, you'll notice on the animation the monkey, the hammer part's broken. That of course doesn't ring the bell. It's done by a plunger inside the bell, but once again we're just going to get it going, and then I'm pretty sure you can buy those, so we'll let the owner know about that and see what they wish to do concerning that. So yeah, this is going to be a bit of an ongoing project. We're going to do bits and pieces of it, so don't forget to look out for our video, those of you that are interested in learning a little bit about how to refurbish and pull down the rat trap score reels. So moving on from that, we've also got a Bally blue chip bingo machine we're working on. Now the blue chip bingo machine is a fairly big job. As we mentioned, it's out in the front shed, and we've got the control unit done on that. Once again, we've put photos up on that on our Facebook page, The Goat Shed and Pinball Repair Specialists. Look, if you're not a member of that, you're welcome to join. You've just got to answer two simple questions, and they are, whereabouts are you from? In other words, if you're from the United States, where do you live? Okay, you might live in Pittsburgh. That's all we want to know. And what's your favourite EM pinball machine? And then it asks you to agree to the rules of our group. So please, if you want to join, feel free to do so. Now, just getting back to that blue chip bingo, I'm going to show you a little bit about what we're up to there with that. so you can get an idea of the complexities of these things. This is the finest day we've had for a while now. Hasn't rained since the early hours this morning, about 4 AM this morning. I think it's the last rain we had, which is good, particularly for the people where they're flooded in, etc. So let's just show you about this bingo now anyway. Right, that long shaft you see, there's other bits got to get added onto that, but that had to all come apart, and there's all cams on there, and inside those cams there are clutches, or they're actually, let's try and show you one. There's one there, you can just see it. Where are we? Just see the clutch. Oh no, that's not it. Where are we? Very hard to get in there and show you, but they're leather clutch washers and they had to be replaced. The clutches slip, and they're the other things that have got to go back into it, or a couple of them anyway, for the parts. So these things are very complex. Have a look at all that for wiring. Imagine that's the thing that finds the pays, the disc that finds the pays. So imagine if you've got a broken wire in there, it's an awful lot of work to do to find it. So bingos are very, very complex, very, very complex indeed. Graham learnt to fix bingos before he fixed pinball machines, so that's a good sign. Now what you're seeing here is the bottom panel or motorboard from a Gottlieb Jungle Queen. Now, one of our goat shed colleagues purchased this very, very cheaply. It had been sitting out on a back patio, uncovered for years. The lady's husband had died. She decided to get rid of it. So it was bought for parts. The guy mainly wanted it for the transformer, and which we've taken out of that, as you can see, and one or two other things he required. So he's donated the rest of it to the goat shed for parts, and well, certainly put those to good use. There's a good coin unit stepper on there. Oh, it's not good, it's probably a bit rusty, but we'll remove that and that'll add to our parts portfolio. It's a shame it couldn't be gotten going, but it's really beyond help. I'll show you the score motor now. It's in terrible condition. So there it is, there's the score motor. The shaft has rusted right through, so we've been soaking it in all sorts of things, vinegar. We're not interested in cleaning this up. We'll just use the switches on top. There's the other side of it. So we've got to drift the shaft out from underneath. So that's potentially been somewhat difficult, but we're getting closer now. Can't really remove the motor either. The screws are all rusted on. So yeah, it was a big mess, as you can see. Really wasn't worth doing anything with. Now another project we've had on the go for a while, we bought this about 3 years ago now, is that Midway Whirlybird from 1969. We've pulled it all down and we've had a new cabinet made, which we've illustrated in the past, or not new cabinet made, one repaired, but new top put on it, new back door and things like that. But the handle bearings on the control panel, so where you pull the handle down to control the helicopter and whatso, they were worn out, they were flogged out. We tried to buy new ones, but we couldn't. So once again, a friend of ours in the goat shed here has machined us up some new metal ones, and also just for practice he made some on a 3D printer. So that's another job we'll have going at some point in time in the future. The only other thing we're waiting to show up this month is a Gottlieb Grand Slam. Now that's one from the 70s, not one from the 50s. A guy wants to bring up that machine, and he's got about 4 others, I believe, he wants attended to. So we're waiting for that to arrive. Late last month, on a Saturday, which is the last Saturday in the month, I think it was, we ran one of our other training courses. This time we only had a couple of people show up, a couple of people had to cancel out due to illness, etc. But those courses are always received very well. We're forever trying to improve them. I know they're no good to people who watch us from overseas, and no, we won't be streaming them live or anything like that. We don't have the equipment to do that. We're just humble hobbyists, just trying to make videos to show or illustrate to people how to repair these wonderful games. And as we've said many times before, we can only hope that YouTube leave these videos up for many years to come so that future generations can learn how to repair them. Now, just another thing we'll mention to those of you that are interested, in 2018 we visited the USA. That was my very first trip there. Had a wonderful time. I went with a guy called Craig who'd been over there a few times before, and just earlier last week we made another decision to travel over there again this year. So we'll be visiting the White Rose Game Room Show in York in Pennsylvania, and also we'll be visiting the Chicago Pinball Expo. And we've actually been asked to give a seminar at the Chicago Pinball Expo, so that'll be something to look forward to, and we look forward to meeting as many of our friends and viewers that we can. We'll be posting more information about our trip on our Facebook page when we know. So yeah, we'd really be pleased to be able to meet some of you guys. It'd be wonderful. We were made to feel so welcome last visit, and we were supposed to return in 2020, but because of COVID, etc., it just didn't happen. So yeah, we're very excited about that, and looking forward to it very much so. The only problem we've got is there's about a 2-week difference between the Chicago and York show, so we've got to figure out what we're going to do. So it's starting to look like we might start on the West Coast this time and move over to the East Coast, and then have to go back to the Midwest. Once again, we don't really know. So thanks very much for watching what's on in the Goat Shed this month. We really appreciate your patronage on our channel. And that's one other thing, we're very pleased that one of our videos hit the 2,500 mark the other day. Now, compared to some other channels, that's pretty mediocre, but we're quite chuffed and impressed by that. So thank you very much to the people that have contributed to watching our channel. And we do encourage you to subscribe to our channel. Make sure you give us the big thumbs up on our videos. And until then, this has been another Goat Shed presentation.